That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of healthcare, ends up happening like that because of technology.
Mm-hmm.
At some point it has to level off.
And then for in-home reimbursement, do you have an opinion on that? Obviously it's much less than the lab, but is there?
It is. I think my opinion there is that the providers are still having to read the test. So there's still, like let's say maybe a 2/3 of the cost of an in-lab titration as far as reading the test. But it's really all of that extra expense of them keeping the sleep lab open.
Okay.
It's, like for us, we got on the verge several times of discussing whether or not we wanted to close the sleep lab. And the reason why was we weren't getting enough sleep tests done in lab. And, because you have to have a technician there overnight while the person sleeps, you're, using the technology of video recording and audio and all the sensors and things that are going on. And, you have to get housekeeping to sterilize the room and bring in brand new sheets. And, so the cost to the hospital is significantly higher. And in essence, by sending someone home with a box that's the size of an iPhone and a few wires coming out of it and a thing that attaches to their nose, I mean, that's a huge difference in
mm-hmm.
cost. And so just what you're saving there of the salary of the tech and the malpractice risk for the hospital and those things alone make that utilization, ideal for any insurer.
Okay. Yeah, that all makes sense. Sorry, I'm just checking through what we've talked about. Sorry to go back to that, like 3%
No,
versus
you're
4%.
good.
So that 4% LCD, that local coverage decision, does Medicare still follow the 4%? Do you know?
Right. I have not seen it change, so I would say yes.
Okay, that's interesting then. Okay, thanks for bringing that up. That's an interesting point. So is your plan looking at all to kind of expand your sleep diagnostic network, or is it kind of a case by case geographical basis?
It actually is more geographical,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of it is, if there's very few freestanding sleep centers. Most of them are affiliated with either a provider, like a neurologist or a pulmonology group, or they're affiliated with a hospital. And so usually when those providers are participating providers, it sort of pulls that in.
Okay.
Much like ambulatory surgery centers are usually somehow affiliated with a hospital, or if they're doing maybe primarily orthopedics, they may be affiliated with an orthopedic group. And so, there's the incentive to contract is more on the independent sleep center itself will approach a major insurer and say, hey, here's the deal we have for you, kind of thing, to get more
mm-hmm.
patients.
Okay, so then I guess my next question is, when they come to you, what are the type of things they're showing that maybe puts them above others in the pack? But why you would want to work with them?
I think quality. If you have a good quality number of tests, you remember a lot of the doctors will refer the patient to the sleep center, and then
mm-hmm.
the sleep center can order the home sleep test if it's appropriate. So if you look, you're going to have a certain percentage of patients that they get sent to them that go on and get a home sleep test. And so, you kind of want to know, are you guys, sending patients for home sleep tests, or are you just trying to bring everyone into the lab? And, you can actually, if they were a non-PAR provider and you had any experience with them as an out-of-network provider, you could go back and look at their past submissions, and you could say, guys, I don't know that we want to partner with you. Everybody that's, 25 years old, weighs 160 pounds, and has a normal sized neck,
mm-hmm.
and no other health conditions
What's our cutoff for this guy? 15 minutes?
Yeah, that sounds generous. Normally I'd say 10, but since I know I struggled a bit with the system not working right, another 5 seems reasonable.
Yeah, well, we're going to be at 15 minutes here right now, actually.
Yeah, right now, actually, yeah.
Well, okay. We have
right,
another one scheduled for later.
It's at 3 o'clock my time.
Yep, perfect.
All right.
That'll
I'll
work.
send Julie an email right now letting her know cranial surgeon 6 didn't show, and we'll let her deal with it.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Thanks, man. Drive safe. Talk to you soon.
Yep.
See you.
Talk to you in a
Bye.
bit. Thanks. Bye.